What's up, Collins Connection? This week I have a very special guest. I've been trying to get him on here for a long time. He's one of the most pivotal parts of you buying a home. His name is Curtis Kelly. He owns West Ivy Home Inspections. He is the top home inspector, I would argue, in the nation. He does all these talks and presents to all these people, teaches all these other home inspectors how to do what he does. But I finally got him on the show. He's my sole home inspector that I trust, even with my own home. So we're going to cover a bunch of good stuff. So check it out. All right, what's up, Collins Connection? Finally, I got the man, the myth, the legend, Curtis Kelly from West Ivy on. This boy's been dodging me for a while, but finally got him on. What's up, man?
What's good with you, man? How you doing? I'm glad to be here. I got the special invite from the man.
Kevin, for
So
all
I
the
was
people,
like,
all the people watching, he's lying. We did this in his house. We messed up, but it took us months to get back on here and do it right.
we did it right back there, man. We did it right back there. The sound came messed up. We had super good content. And I went back to edit it, and I'm like, sorry, bro.
That speaks to audio and like how hard and let everybody know, like, we're not professional podcasts. We do this for you guys, and like I wish people would see how many screw ups we got behind all this stuff that we put out for them, from messing up, saying
man.
something. Man, what?
Right. Exactly. There's tons of it.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
But tell them about yourself, man. Tell them about you, your
Yeah.
family, your blessed kids, business, everything, man. Let them know.
All right. I'm Curtis Kelly, owner of West Ivy Home Inspections. Been in business roughly 4 or 5 years now with my own company. Grown the company from one person to, we got 4 people now. It's me, 2 home inspectors, and my daughter is helping out answering phones. Yeah, man, it's been a journey over these last few years, especially starting off in the middle of COVID when everyone was either afraid to buy homes or just dove into the market to buy a house because they wanted to get out of their apartment. But it's been a long road, man. A lot of challenges and a lot of successes and meeting a lot of great people. So I've been blessed along the way.
Heck yeah. Daughter is going to Arizona State?
Yeah, yeah. So I
Man.
have 3 kids. I have 2 boys. They're seniors in high school now. My daughter's going to Arizona State now. She finished her first year. She'll be starting her second year at Arizona State. So I'm I forget what they're, Arizona Devils, Sun Devils. I
Sun
think they're Sun
Devils.
Devils.
Man,
Yeah, so I don't know. It's not this. It's like it's this one.
Man,
But
you better figure it
yeah,
out,
yeah,
man. You about to be that dad.
yeah. I
Yeah.
just wear all maroon and cheer for the team.
Sun
You know what I'm
Devils, Sun
saying?
Devils, Sun
Sun
Devils,
Devils. There you
Sun
go. There
Devils.
you go.
Man,
Yeah.
get you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
So Curtis is super humble. He's a freaking killer, #1 home inspector in San Diego, most sought after. Talk about the conference you went and spoke at. I know you're, you know,
mhm.
acting kind of scary originally with it, and all that.
Right.
But
Yeah.
talk about the conference.
So I was asked by the International Association of Home Inspectors. That's who my certification is with. I was asked to fly out and actually speak about ancillary services, which are the additional services that we provide during a home inspection. So mold, sewer, asbestos, all those ancillary services. I was asked to speak about those, how to implement those into your business, and how to be successful. So it was my first paid speaking engagement. They flew me out, paid for the hotel, paid me to speak, and they're asking me to come back again this year to do the same thing, to speak again. Last year it was in New Jersey, which was really cool. This year it's going to be in Orlando, Florida.
Ooh,
So
way better.
yeah, so yeah, it's going to be really nice. So I'm excited about that to be able to speak amongst all my peers. It's funny coming up in this business. When I first started it, my main goal was to be respected as a true business and to be respected amongst my peers as being like a authority in the business. So slowly but surely, I've kind of worked my way to that position to where now I'm an authority when it comes to home inspections. I'm a seasoned home inspector, and a lot of people ask me for advice and so on and so forth. So
Man,
it's
they
good
fly you all the way
to
out
be
to
known about.
Jersey, about to be Orlando. Red carpet treatment, man. You made it, man.
I
You
know,
made
I
it.
know, I know. So it's pretty
First
dope.
class? Oh, they better flight first class.
Nah,
Hey, but
I may
second
have to
time,
upgrade for that.
the second time,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the second time you
Yeah,
get out
I'll
there,
take what I could get.
that's big
As
time,
long as
man.
it's not a crop duster, I'm okay.
Oh, yeah. You ever been in those
Yeah.
small? Man, you been in a helicopter?
No, I'm good on a
Yeah,
helicopter.
man. Because planes like go like this, right? So you feel like turbulence.
Right.
Helicopters, this, man. Wow,
Oh,
absolutely wild.
yeah, no.
Yeah, but that's crazy,
Yeah,
man. Like that's super, I guess, humbling, but also, man, that's a measuring.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, man,
Yeah, yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, it's when it comes to laying cards on the table, that's like a joker or a big card to
flex,
put on the table when it comes. Yeah, yeah, big
flex.
time.
So,
Yeah,
out of ancillary services, obviously, we'll kind of go into home inspections and all that stuff later for people that are
hmm,
tuned into this for real time. But
yeah.
ancillary services, like what would you find or think that is your top two favorite ancillary services or most beneficial to like a consumer?
The most beneficial ancillary service to a purchaser of a home or anyone who doesn't have knowledge of a home is going to be the sewer scope and then also the mold inspection. With those two, you're able to see things that you can't see with the normal eye, of course, right? A lot of homes in San Diego are built in the time period where they had cast iron drains,
Mm-hmm.
and those fell from the inside out. You can't see that, but with the special camera, you are able to see that. The other thing is mold. A lot of people are very sensitive to mold. They may have autoimmune diseases that makes them susceptible to certain type of molds. So a mold inspection would be, extremely important for those people. Um, and that's something that you can't see, can't smell, but to have those two tests are really important in today's market.
And just to double tap that, like my uncle has this like casita in Mission Hills, whatever Gucci
Hmm.
19 built in the 1920s. This boy went to
Nice.
rebuild his one bathroom and quoted them for like 15 grand. Went in there, cast iron, demolished.
Oh,
The whole pipe. When they scoped it to the plumbers actually doing it, it was just half a pipe, like not even fully there.
yeah.
That
Hmm.
$15,000 bathroom renovation ended up costing him 40 grand. So
Yeah.
my plug is it's not just for buyers and stuff. You guys can hire my boy Curtis whenever you feel like something's crazy. Have him come take a look at your house. Give a call, do whatever you need to do. Home inspections are not just when you buy. It's like
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah, that type of plumbing damage can easily be $20,000 on any house, and a lot of times you'll have drains that's flowing fine. You won't know there's a problem until it clogs, or you're doing renovations, and then at that point you're like, "Oh shoot, we've been living with this entire time."
exactly, and that's
So
the thing. Like it was working fine the entire time, so he had no idea this was jacked up. And then what do you do
right,
like when you're knee deep? The bathroom's already ripped apart. And the guy's like, "Hey man, code, I have to put this back."
you have to
Like
fix it. I mean, yeah, it's a health issue now. You have poop just sitting underneath your house. That's like
everywhere. And the thing,
active bacteria.
if you saw his bathroom, I mean, you've been to Mission Hills. It's tiny, and for $40,000 bathroom reno, I was like,
Right.
this,
Yeah.
that's what his old
Yeah.
ass gets, so he deserves it. So,
That's funny.
what everybody wants to know, right? And home inspections are one of the most looked at. And before we get to that, brag a little bit more. You don't work with other home inspectors. You teach them and all that stuff. But my man Curtis is the most open-ended home inspector there is in San Diego. You talk to clients too much to where I'm like, hey man, you're too nice. Tell them to shut up. They'll be okay. Your home inspection report is actually the easiest to understand. Some of these jokers be sending out these like doctoral thesis that doesn't even make sense. Like yours is Barney style to where idiot realtors like myself and others can understand. Like, okay, that's red. Red is bad. Like,
Right.
figured it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. And I try to keep the description very clear too. What the problem is, what may have caused it, and who needs to come out and take a look. I try not to get too far into the weeds with giving my opinion on what things are. If you ask at the inspection, I could do that, but you really don't want to put a lot of that in writing because it's just an opinion and it may be wrong. So
Exactly.
you want to just stick to the facts and provide that to the client so they can look into it further by plumber, electrician, or whoever it may be, right? Because what we do as a generalist is we look at everything. So we look at the plumbing, the electrical, the roof, the structure. So we have knowledge of all of those systems. But of course, a contractor is going to look at those things even more in depth. So
Yeah.
we're pointing you in the right direction to have things repaired. So
Just say the
you
military.
really want to think of us.
30,000 foot view, thirty
Yeah,
thousand foot view.
exactly.
But I also want to
Yep.
caveat that, like, we came
Yeah.
into this with a couple clients, and there's some things that you will never find out in a home inspection, right? Obviously, if you have the seller selling the home, you have the buyer wanting to buy the home, but ultimately the seller still owns it, right? And if we had carte blanche to tear apart the walls and rip apart the roof, we could find everything down to the studs. We could find anything we wanted, but unfortunately,
Right.
you can't do that. And certain things that people have to be aware of, like stuff happens. Like I had a hot water pipe burst in my house. There's no way you could see that coming. Not unless I had your ass
Right.
rip apart all the sheetrock.
Right.
There's certain things that people, and I think people need to understand that there's no way. Like we had a client pissed off because they didn't use the right caulking or something, and I was like, how would anybody find that?
Right.
You can't.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I was just at a home inspection the other day, and I was talking to a guy about the furnace, and I called out a couple things on the furnace. I'm like, man, something's up with this furnace. So he calls his buddy out. His buddy comes out. He's an HVAC guy, and he starts calling out, shoot, tons of stuff on the furnace. We need to put caulking here. We need to run this here, this, and that. Those are things that are beyond the scope of a home inspection. We really are functioning the property as if we live there for the day. So we're not doing an in-depth, destructive tear down of the property or the appliance. We're functioning the property to look at things that may be indicative of further repair being needed. So
And
we're
something's
kind of
high.
step one in the process.
Yeah, something's
Yeah.
high, and that's what I think people have to realize is that in the escrow, when you're in escrow and you're going through that, what homeowner is going to let if I'm buying your house, hey man, I want to rip into these walls, see if there's mold.
Right.
I find it,
happening.
you know what I'm saying? Like say you're just the dumbest seller on the planet. You're like, yeah, sure, man. I rip it open, find something I don't like, bam, I leave. Now you're stuck with ripped open walls because someone
Right.
wanted to do that. And that's the thing I just want people to grasp is that you are getting it's an as is state, right? Curtis is trying to go there and show you guys if there's any blemishes that are so big that's like, hey man, no. Like the one we found in San Diego, like Curtis, what's his name? Your assistant flew the drone up, found the caps on the roofs weren't on there.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And then that with moisture already in the walls from top to bottom was like, man.
Yeah. Water will come straight in through those flue pipes and run right into the walls, and then it may show itself as a little stain, but it's really indicative of a larger problem, right? Especially during those heavy rains that we were having.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Finding small things like that are important.
And for the record, I told my client, he's like, oh, maybe we can negotiate. No, we couldn't. Man, that's a $250,000. It was a shared wall. I was like, we're out, man. We're out.
Yeah.
And another plug, that's why all realtors should pay for home inspections. Yeah, I said it.
You're one of the only realtors I know that actually pay for the home inspection.
Because they're dumb.
Because they're dumb. Explain to me why you do that. Why you pay for the.
So for a business standpoint, it's a tax write-off, right? It's a tax write-off. Second, and more importantly, is when someone's buying a home, there's so many emotions flying around. You got the lending side, and you're lifting your skirt up, letting someone check all your finances, not comfortable. You're going through appraisal and thinking about moving, and all this chaos, all this stress. If I can alleviate one thing, something is important as a home inspection to where you don't have to pay for it. And not only that, I want when you give them the home inspection, right? You are like the first gate. If Curtis comes back with a shitty home inspection, that's our pop smoke, get out of Dodge, boom. I don't want the client to feel like they have anything tied up in the house, that they're making an objective opinion. Like, hey man, it's on me. This is not a good house for you. You don't have nothing. You're going to get your earnest money back. You don't have to worry about paying Curtis. I already did that. Like, you're good. Let's find one that works. Instead of being like, damn, I already spent, I'm already got money into this house. We should just go through with it. Nah, man, that's shitty. That's not the way it should be. And
Right.
these realtors need to get up on game.
You know what? Have seen that before in the past where they've paid for one home inspection and it almost kind of put them out of the market, where they went into a house that they really liked and it was just a home that was too old for them, had too many problems. They paid my $500 or $700, whatever it is. And at that point, they're like, man, do we want to spend another $700? Now that's almost $2,000 that we've spent just looking at houses. And what if we don't like that house?
Exactly. 100%.
So, yeah, I think you taking care of that home inspection fee will keep them in the market and keep them looking if that first house isn't.
And ultimately not having the fear to walk away. Because not every house is right. Like that one without the caps that already had water issues. I told no, man, we're out. Like, we're out. You have nothing in this home. We found a better one like 3 days later. It eases so much stress off of them to not feel married to the home because you're already so much invested. And business wise, like flip off of Ian being, realtor to businessman is like, I've only really been not burned, but like I've only really had to do it 2 or 3 times. And the amount of, rapport you build with your clients and like the trust you build is like, I'm there to advise you on what's the best for you. Don't worry about, home inspection costs because don't worry about this, don't worry about that. What is right? Think about it. And that's just
another thing that you do too is you really don't have an opinion on the house regarding the repairs. I've ran into a few agents. You can tell they haven't closed the deal in a while, and every time I find something, it's a battle just explaining like it is what it is. It's a crack in the foundation. It's not the end of the world, but I don't need you to over explain what I'm already explaining. I make it as simple as possible to explain a foundation crack and its cause. I don't need you to add on an extra 15, 20 minutes talking about a crack that isn't even significant. You're making it worse than what it really is,
Mansplaining to a man. Why are you mansplaining me, bro?
It becomes too much, it becomes too much. And I've had that, it was probably a few weeks back, and every time I mentioned an issue or a concern or a defect, even though it's common in San Diego and these are things that I see all the time, this agent just kept over explaining, and I'm sure it made it really, I know it made it really difficult for that client because they called me after the fact and was like, man, you couldn't get a word out because this realtor kept interrupting you and inserting themselves. How do you feel about the house? And I was like, exactly how I told you is how I feel, but it just wasn't clear because they were over talking me at times.
I'm the first one to say, man, there's a ton of idiots in the real estate market here, man. First of all, that's not your swim lane. Like, shut the hell up.
Right.
Are you a contractor? Do you know anything? No, you're a realtor that was a prior car salesman or a bottle service girl, barely passed high school. Shut up. Damn, man.
Right.
It's like they're overcompensating, like trying to sound smart when the professionals right here advise you. So you guys know, Curtis usually has you guys come at the end and he explains all the stuff you see so you can ask and he explains it to you. What kind of dummy would I be to be like, hold up, Curtis, I think I know better than you do.
And I explain everything in layman's terms too. I don't overspeak
3rd grade.
people. I don't speak over their head. I make it extremely clear as to what it is. If things are common, if these things I see on every house, or it's grandfathered in, or whatever it may be. But
almost too long. I'm like, Curtis, stop entertaining these stupid questions. So, and I think the emotional side, right? People are buying, and I get it. People are buying the largest investment in their house. So, my dad used to say, when emotions run high, common sense and logic run low. So sometimes people are saying, so when that realtor started to play on the emotions and say all this other dumb shit, it's like, hush. What is the issue? I'm never going to fight you on what issue that you find. Curse says the issue. How much is it going to cost to repair? Will they budget? Will they do a request for repairs? Will you guys take it or not? Move forward. That's it. It's straight.
That's it. Yeah.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah, exactly.
Next one, we're going to tell Johnny Cochran how to, try a legal case too, man. Order the court. Shut up. Get out of here.
Exactly.
Well, nah, man. And if you guys don't understand, if you've never bought a home before, you haven't dealt with courage before, the home inspection is probably the most emotional one where people are the most tied. Like, and there's
Yeah.
like you said, there's so many things that we've seen on every single house. Like, if you have a terracotta roof, there's going to be ones that are broken. If you have, there's going to be, it's like a used car. It's going to be used unless it's brand new, and even those shits usually have
Right.
issues. But
Exactly. Yeah, you're gonna have door dings. You're gonna have a little knocking sound here and there. Hey, you should have bought it brand new. But even those, like you said, are gonna
and
come with issues.
and
But
but the thing too is I tell my clients ahead of time, like, you've been living in a shitty little apartment, 2-bedroom little apartment for the last 10 years, and now you're buying a $700,000 condo, townhouse, whatever, and now you're expecting to be the Taj Mahal. You just lived in squalor for the last 5 years.
right.
Have some
Yeah.
people lose their minds, man. When it's their money, lose their
Right.
minds
Right.
and
It's
realize.
funny when I had been doing home inspections for a couple years, and then we bought our house. And when I bought my house, I was really. It was funny how my focus shifted from the things that I thought were just normal to the things that I was really concerned about.
Oh
So,
yeah.
like normally, I don't get too concerned about like as I'm explaining, like I don't worry about this or the fog windows or this and that. But when I was buying my house, I found myself really being concerned about
That faucet's
fog
leaking.
windows.
That faucet's
Yeah,
leaking.
all this. Yeah, because every time I say something, every time I heard the inspector, which was my boss at the time, say something, I was just like dollar signs. That's dollar signs. And then I think what happened is I messed around and made my wife nervous. So then she started looking for even smaller stuff. So like imperfections in the paint and a little trim that wasn't there. And the biggest example is we have a piece of baseboard, like a corner of a baseboard. It's probably about like that big, really small, and it's missing in the corner. And she was so concerned about that corner, like that piece of baseboard isn't there. Like we need to get that fixed. Like that's gonna be the first thing we fix. It's been like I don't know how many years later. Like we
Still
still
there.
ain't got that little piece.
Still
That's
there.
the last thing we worried about, you know. But I think about that when I go out and I do inspections, though. So that's why I let the client talk. I just let them talk. I let them get it all out and answer all their questions. Just because I remember I was really concerned about that little piece of fucking baseboard that I still have never gotten fixed, right? But that's why in the summary I try to big picture it. Like these are the important things. If before I move into the house, I would deal with the your damaged roof that really needs to be repaired. I would deal with your water heater that's leaking right now. Everything else, it's an older home. It's handyman stuff. You can do it as you move in.
And I
So
think that we're touching on it again, but just so people realize, like when you're buying a home, common sense is out the door. You got the common sense factor is gone. You guys lose your minds, but I think that's why it's so important, especially from the realtor side. So what I try to do is make it by the time they get to you, they're already prepped. Like every house is going to have blemishes. You're not going to find a perfect house. Even those dudes are buying $5-10 million houses, there's still shit they don't like on it either. You'll never find a perfect house. Get it out your mind. What, like a relationship, what can you deal with?
right.
If it's super
Yep.
expensive and she wants to make you take her out every night, $1,000 dinners, probably not a good relationship for you. If you have a home that has a broken roof and you need to spend $10,000-20,000 that you don't have and the seller's not willing, it's probably not a situation you want to be in. Same thing. And I try to curb their, give their, I guess what they think is going to come out of this, and try to curb it. Like, hey, this is the end state. Chill out.
Yeah.
So speaking of
Focus on the
inspections, what
yeah.
is the craziest shit you found on inspection?
The cra- Okay, I don't know how explicit I can.
Hey, it's too
I
bad,
don't know
man.
how.
YouTube gets mad at me. I'll just bleep it out. Beep.
Okay, so I found a pump for your genitalia in an attic space.
Oh yes.
So I think that was the funniest thing that I've ever found. I was going into an attic space, and the dad's like, "Hey, I've never been up there. I don't know what's in there."
Cap.
Da, 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 da,
Cap.
right? Sure, exactly. And I get up there, and sure enough, man, there's a penis pump in the attic space, and yeah, so I found it. I snapped a couple pictures and just gave it to the new buyer, like, hey, just so you know, you have a penis pump in in your attic space,
They're like,
and
I want this no matter what.
right. Oh
Convey.
yeah, exactly.
I have
Yeah, I
so
was
many
like, so
questions
I told
though.
her, I was like, hey, I found a couple kids in your attic, and then she didn't know what I was talking about, so I had to
So my thing,
explain.
why would you put it in the attic? There's insulation. There's all kind.
Yeah, I don't know.
Man, that's
They
wild.
may, I don't know. They may like the, I don't know, the fiberglass. I don't know.
So usually buyers watch these things 'cause they want to, get a heads up what they're gonna do. But for sellers too, if you have sex toys and all that stuff, and you think it's hidden,
Right.
get it out before you
Yeah.
sell your house because someone's gonna find it. Like Curtis is gonna find it. Like,
Yeah. I found another one. It was called the tickler. I found it underneath the I found it underneath the sink. The house was vacant, so I wasn't going through their stuff. The house was vacant, but underneath the sink you have like the drain that
mm,
goes into a P trap, and then the P trap goes into the wall. So sometimes you'll have some damage around that wall. But I saw something sticking out on the side. I'm like, what the heck is that? That's not like a shutoff valve or anything. So I reached for it and I pulled it out, and sure enough, it was labeled the tickler.
why
And
would you
so I
hide it
guess
there?
I don't know. I guess before you shower, mom or dad was tickling something.
They, like, but my thing is, why? Like,
Oh
why?
no.
Why put it, lock it up somewhere,
Yeah.
man?
Yeah.
Your
Do
kitchen.
like everybody else and put it in your underwear drawer.
Yeah, right. Like, like what? First of all, what kids are gonna go through their parents' underwear drawer? That's weird. They're not
Right.
gonna do. That's the safest
Exactly.
place in the house.
Yeah.
I ain't
Put
touching
everything in
it.
your underwear drawer.
Oh,
Yeah.
the way you
That's
do,
right. I think those are the two crazy.
take it out the drain, clean it off real quick. Like that's so
You know
nasty.
what? It could have been a drain cleaner. I don't know. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was a drain cleaner.
I don't think any
And I
drain
just.
cleaner is called the tickler. Not that I know of. I'm googling it. Like after
There
this,
we
I'm
go.
googling tickler.
I know.
Ah, man,
Yeah.
that's so weird, man. God.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
so sex toys, obviously, get those out
Yeah.
before someone's selling your house. Don't be an idiot.
There was one time too. A funny thing that happened is, I had met a couple downtown, and they wanted to make sure that the washer and dryer worked. So they showed up with all of their laundry to the home inspection and washed their laundry at the at the property. You know? That was
That's
kind of odd.
and then the
And then,
washer and dryer doesn't convey, and they get taken out. Like,
right, they just get a free load of
man,
wash that day.
it's so crazy, man. And like, it's weird too. And I understand it. Like economically, San Diego is extremely lucrative market, so it brings in all the riffraff. I get it, but like sometimes, a lot of my calls and people that call me, I guess my brand is like your realtor hurt you. How I'm the side dude, like you got hurt by a realtor out here, like on your shoulder.
Come with me.
But it's sometimes I tell them it's like it's your fault. Like, why would you choose this person? Like, this dude's an idiot. Like, he showed up late 1,000 times. He acts like an idiot. Like, why would you trust somebody like this? And
Yeah,
consumers do it, and then they call me when they had a bad
yeah,
experience. Like, I'm never using John Smith again.
yeah. I've seen hundreds of realtors, man, and the best realtors, you being included, are the ones who understand the process, the real estate process, which you all should know anyway, but understand all aspects of the real estate process. They know something about the home inspection and what's important. They know something about the loan process. And then they also, have contractors and things available if they need things to be repaired after. But the biggest part, I think, is just their team that they have around them plays a huge part on just making them aware of all of all the different aspects of the real estate market. So with you being extremely knowledgeable, like in business and real estate, it's like a true asset for your client because you're able to speak on all different facets of the real estate market. So
Well, I come from
you're
old
one of the
school,
better
bro.
ones out there.
Old school, bro. Like back in the day, to be a lender, you just had to have your real estate license, and you better
Right.
know, you better
Yeah.
understand it. And the way we not force B to do it, but you're stuck with us for life, right? So we send out a weekly email. It has all the contractors and preferred vendors that we have in there. So, hit up Cody's punk ass if you need your plumbing done. Like, caveat, yeah. Cody's great. He did mine too.
We love Cody.
Screw him at the same time. There's beef still on site. He left a sweater here, True Value Plumbing, and it was an extra medium. The only one that fits is Bridget. I told him, I was like, bro.
Wait a minute. He left you a sweater?
Yeah. Extra medium.
He hasn't given me a sweater yet.
Oh, man. We need to ride on this guy, man. I told him, I'm about to roast you. Until I get a normal size man sweater, we are fighting. Like, it's some bullshit. Funny. But I think it's value based, right? And you touched on something about like having experience. Like, it's easy. Like, we go to college. You went to college. I went to college. We all went to college. Mm-hmm. And baby. And you can have theoretical knowledge, right? And understanding, here's X and O's, these are the contracts, whatever. But until you've bought your own home,
that's huge.
Sold your own home. I've been a landlord too. Like, on paper, it means one thing. In actuality and in practice, it's a totally separate thing.
Yeah,
and a lot of these realtors, they come here, and you'll see them. They're easy to point on Instagram and all that. And now when people watch this, you'll understand. You see this person, they'll see a just closed, next day vacation. I'm like, what the shit is this?
I'm like, get your ass back to work.
Get to work, man. This jackass doesn't know anything about business. Nothing there. I make some money, I go on vacation. I make some money, I go on vacation. It's like, come on, man.
And then the next time I see them, they're like, the market is just so slow.
It's so slow.
Man, this other dude's been closing a lot of deals. I'm not sure what part of the market you're in.
It's consistency. And that's the thing that kind of segue into my next question, like running your own business. But I think people don't understand that when you're interviewing a realtor, you're interviewing the person and their knowledge base and, what's their value proposition. But you should also inquire what kind of business they run. If they're a sole proprietor that works on a team, they don't have the profit margin in order to offer you any value. Like, for example, I pay for all home inspections because it's a write-off for me. Like, I need the write-off anyways. Might as well pass that savings on to you, the consumer. If I'm on a team, I pay, 40% to Zillow Premier. I pay, 25% to my broker or my team leader, and I pay another 10, 15%. I'm just an employee pretending to be a realtor, and I get a 1099. And I don't think society understands business and that's the way to get the best opportunity. But it's also harder. Run a business hard.
I didn't realize that. I didn't realize so much money went out the door before they got paid.
Zillow Premier, man, just for those agents who do. I mean, you're all in Chula. I don't really market too down there, but I just opened it up. But marketing, they don't want to do marketing, and this goes back to when I get my MBA. One of the most pivotal things they told me was like, you can become the best CPA, doctor, lawyer, attorney, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't make you a good business owner. And a lot of these realtors are good, and you probably have seen some of your employees, which you want them to stay good employees. Doesn't mean they're good business owners. You got to worry about marketing. You got to worry about taxes and all this kind of stuff. And what's your brand doing? And a lot of these realtors take the easy route and they want to hit Zillow. And Zillow charges 38% off top. And that's not counting TC, brokerage, team lead fee, all this other stuff these agents do. Terrible. Man, I spend like $1,000 a month on YouTube and Facebook, Instagram just to get my information in front of you. And that's it. Like, to my detriment, though, because I need to spend more money, but different problem to have.
No, I didn't realize that. That makes a huge difference, too. That makes a huge difference when they're out there trying to sell the property on, some people that may, if they haven't closed a deal in a while, they may try to talk you into a property that's really not right for you,
One of the things I say when you're interviewing a realtor and they say, let me see your proof of funds, ask them for their proof of funds. Hey, man, funny. If you got $5 to your name, you can kind of tell that their information is going to be skewed one way. Like, man, the roof's falling in, but we get it, and
it's fine.
Request for repairs. Yeah, man.
We're in San Diego. It doesn't rain.
I need to get paid.
Yeah, exactly. If you got a home warranty, everything's home warranty.
Home warranty.
Like the half of the house is falling down. You got a home warranty.
Man, what? That is not home warranty insurance is not the get out of jail free card. But that's the sad thing. If they were homeowners, they would understand that. Dealing with home insurance, dealing with HOA, dealing with home warranty is not just like, hey man, my roof collapsed. Not that easy, man.
Right.
Nor does it work.
Yep.
But how you so if you had an aspiring, maybe not home inspection, they don't try to incur on your market share, but young youth that want to start a business, minority youth like us, well not youth, yeah. Minority, they're not youth.
You maybe youth like you.
Shit, boy.
Look at
I had to shave.
Gorilla over here.
I had to shave because I got gray in my beard, man. Newborn. I didn't shave. I looked in the mirror. I was like, "Oh my god!"
She's like, "Is that mayonnaise?"
Man, what? I thought it was Ava's little throw up on my face. I was like, "Oh my god, that's gray." Let me shave this shit off. I turn the lights up real bright so you can't see the gray. But for younger minority men in San Diego County, all right, I mean shit anywhere. What would be like your advice to get started, like for them to do it?
In the home inspection space?
I want to go home inspection, man, because you don't want no competition, man. But
I don't mind.
Either or.
I would say if it's any business, I say you have to use Instagram, social media, and all that stuff for marketing. Number 2, you have to set up a brand. Keep in mind the story of your company is just as important as the work that you do. People want to help people that's helping themselves, and the story of your company means a lot. So people will back the story. So make sure that you have a really good reason for why you're starting your business and what propels you every day to get up and to push it forward to be a better business. So that is all important. Outside of that, it's like me and man, it's the grind. It's the relentless, tedious things that we do every day that other people won't do, right? So the difference between the haves and the have-nots are the haves are willing to do things that the have-nots won't. Mm-hmm. So I get up every day. Shit, I was working like a couple weeks back. I was doing 3 inspections a day. That was like 12 hours a day. Did 15 inspections in a week. Shoot, I was even opening up Sundays and Saturdays, right? And that's just because I didn't want my brand to take a hit because one of my guys was on vacation, right? So I still wanted to service my client, which is the realtors that's looking for a home inspector. So I could have said, like, I'm making enough money. I can pay all my bills doing my 2 inspections today. I don't need to work this extra time. But my brand is West Ivy is a legitimate business that services the community and is available to you when you need them.
And you can count on them.
And you can count on them.
Yeah.
Right? It's legit. So, well, with that being said, I hired on another guy, and so to kind of alleviate that, so I don't have to start doing 15 inspections a week, but to better service the clients too, like I said from the beginning, like I wanted to be known as like an authority in the business. I wanted to be known as a force in the business, and you can't do that when you're, getting into the business half-assed. Like, perfect example, most people get into real estate because they want the flexibility. They don't really, this is something I can do in between X and Y, and I still have the flexibility. Nah, ain't no flexibility. Mm-mm. Ain't no flexibility.
25/8, not 24/7. 25/8.
Yep. You guys are working in your sleep. I've gotten calls 10 o'clock at night. Hey, bro, I just need to know what's up for an inspection. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I preface it with sorry. Hey, sorry, bro, it's late.
I'm up too. Let's get it, But that's just how it is, man. You work, but we're willing to work when other people aren't, right? Like you said, you alluded to it too. Like those people are on vacation when we're working, and just like Kobe in the gym, he's shooting those 1,000 shots. He's going to end up shooting way more shots than you've ever shot, simply because he's outworking you when you're at the club or you're on vacation. And that's us too, man.
And I think it's important
people outwork everybody. You don't have to. And in this business, any business, you don't have to be the best. You just have to be the hardest worker.
Hardest
As long as
worker.
you're the hardest worker that works the smartest and has the best advertisement and work ethic,
That's it.
good.
And
Yeah,
that's
those are the two most important things.
if no one knows what your offer is and no one knows who you are, even if you're the best home inspector, realtor, whoever, it's worthless. I used to tell my
Mhm.
personal trainers at 24 Hour Fitness, like, you could be the best personal trainer ever. If no one knows who the hell you are, what
What does
is
it
it?
matter?
And that,
What
but
does
that's
it
the thing
matter?
I think they need to understand too, is like, especially with small businesses, like, I don't have a huge staff, like I keep close people and all that, and I need to do a better job, or whatever. But all the video, content creation, marketing, omnipresent, content marketing on social media, all that stuff, that all falls on one person. Not to mention
Yeah,
providing value to our clients. And I
right.
think people need to go into it understanding, and kind of like what you said is, a, find a skill, whether it's real estate, home inspection, appraisal, whatever, rubbing two rocks together, whatever you want to do. Find a skill, get educated, get good at it. Spend some
Right.
time understanding, and then think, what is your value proposition? Why do I need to hire you? Why does someone want to hire me? You can ask me on either side, and I'll give you a 10-minute elevator speech in my sleep, half drunk. Like, it would be good. But understanding your value proposition and what's your core competency. How do you, I have a flexible listing campaign, right? I purposely did it because I know we're all, 90% of realtors overcharge you. And then you have Redfin over here that undercharges you, but gives you a shitty experience. So I knew exactly where to position myself. Like, I got all three offers for you, whatever floats your boat. And I
Right.
think understanding and going to college, and I'll beat this till I'm blue in my face, like, understanding, getting my MBA and understanding business was the best thing, because now it's all segmented, right? The
Right.
marketing, the accounting, the advertising, like how, looking for return on investment of your advertising, which people don't talk about.
Hmm.
You'll see a lot of these
Right.
social media and, plug, when you start seeing these random realtors on social media, doing ads, don't click on the first ad. Let it go for a month. Guarantee they don't have the ad spend to keep that advertisement going for more than
Right.
a month.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Shit against the wall, see what
That's
sticks.
Yep, that's true.
Hell yeah,
That's true.
man.
No, man, you hit the nail right on the head, man. You have to be passionate about what you do. Not passionate meaning like I like painting fucking rocks, so I'm just gonna. I mean, if you know what I mean, like you have to do something that's actually gonna sell. Like something that people are buying, and then just become really good at it and try to be the best. Try to be the best. My job, my goal was to be the best home inspector that I can be. Now, to be 100% honest, I know there's inspectors that's way better than me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As far as like finding things but are they better than me overall? Probably not, because can they communicate it well? Are they able to deliver the product well? All those things matter. So it's good to be what do they say? What is it? Master of none,
Jack of
or
all trades.
jack of all trades, master of none, but still better than a master of none, right? So it's the same thing. You really want to be a jack of all trades. You have to figure out what your weaknesses are and bring your skill level up to an acceptable level to where you really have no weaknesses, or your greatest skills will help out your weaker skills, and then
And
work
hire
on
those
those.
people and keep those people around no matter what.
Yeah,
We kind of touched on that
yeah.
before. This market is so competitive. Having somebody, the team mentality from the whole real estate, say you're going to buy a house. I always tell people this, like, it's like a football team, right? You have the realtor, they're like the coach. You're the owner, you're the buyer, right? You got the lender, they're probably like the quarterback. You got the home inspector, they're like the defensive end. Just some wild
Right.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
But putting together that team, because think about it, man, these people don't know. They're gonna go Google some home inspectors, who they'll get, or a lender. They'll go lending. It's all about the team you put in place. And
Yeah.
one thing that I like to say that differentiate my business, who I keep around is very important, because if you're not responsive, if you're not answering clients' call, all that, how many escrow agents I've never dealt with, TCs that I fired, never will use again, like a ton of
Right.
people. That if they're working, or if I refer them, and I think some people forget that when you refer somebody, it's ownership. Like, I'm saying Curtis is the best, and Curtis is the best. If not,
Yeah.
staying on my
Yeah.
nose, hold me accountable.
Right. Right. You won't see me no more. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I would hope you would go somewhere else. That's my hope, is that you would find somebody who's doing a better job, because our job is to do the best job that we could possibly do. And if I have somebody on my staff that's not doing a good job, then maybe they don't, they need more training, or
Mm-hmm.
something needs to happen to where that person can be brought up to a proper level. But yeah, you're exactly right, man. Even when I refer people out too, I make sure that, like, I've seen their work, they've came to my house, or whatever it is, I've used them personally, and then that's when I would refer them out. And if it's just a guy that I found somewhere, it's just like, I've seen this guy
I
at
don't
this
know
place.
him.
I don't know him.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know
I don't
him.
know him.
Here's
Adam.
a number if you want to reach out to him. But
That's it.
I don't know this dude.
And I think people, and
'Cause-
most people don't take that level of accountability. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
I heard he was good. Like, nah, bro, you advised me. You know what I'm saying? And I think with all these changes in the real estate market too, like, I'm a huge believer that realtors should pay for your home inspection. We already got that. But now, with this whole buyer's representation agreement, I also recommend all clients non-exclusive. Because you can do exclusive or non-exclusive. Exclusive, they got you married for 90 days. You can't do shit without them. And non-exclusive is they mess up, move on to the next.
You can get rid of them the next day. Yeah, because you won't know how bad of an agent they are until you see them lose their shit at a showing or something. You're like, who the hell is this crazy motherfucker? Like,
or they don't show up, or they say some dumb.
Right.
I tell them all the time. I tell even me. I was like, hey, I don't even sign exclusive agreements. If you find someone that's going to treat you better than me, by all means, I expect you to. And I tell everybody, like, it keeps them accountable. But now, so think about this, and this is going to be a true test, and this is, how the market goes. They need to be, providing more value to the buy side, right? We already do home inspections. We pay for it here. But now, not signing non-exclusive agreements, now you really have to have a value proposition, because
yeah, for sure,
they can fire you.
Yeah,
anytime. So
no, that's good. That's actually really smart, because how many other agents are really gonna ask their clients to sign a non-exclusive, right? They may say, "Oh, we would like to get you on a 90-day." Like, nah, I'm working with Ian already. He's already a non-exclusive.
You're free to leave at any time. If you think gross accountability. If I haven't trained you enough, if I haven't educated you, trained you, did all this stuff to where you have a warm and fuzzy, and then you fall for some of these slapstick realtors, scripts that they do, then it probably wasn't a good fit in the first place. So there's no long-term contract or strings attached ever, but it also keeps you accountable that way, like, man, I can't just sleep on John Smith because he can go fire me.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel too in this business. I hope no one feels like they have any, like, loyalty to me, because I really try to earn the business every time I go out there, and make sure that I'm doing the best job every time I go out there. Even though we're friends, I would hope that you would still use the best home inspector out there for your clients.
Nah, man, you know where I live, bro. I have no choice. I have no choice. Blink twice if you're okay.
I just saw this one on the TV. They said this means that you're in danger.
You're in danger. But no, man, I stand by your product. Otherwise, I wouldn't pay for it myself. Yeah, and I think that's a huge thing, not only to help my clients, but it's like I'm standing by this inspection. It's coming out of my pocket. I'm making it so you don't have to pay for this, and you can put this out now. Who is always complaining to you to raise your prices?
You are, man. Always like, Curtis, you need to raise your prices.
For the record, guys, I bully this man into raising his prices every time, and I pay for them every time.
And he pays for it. But
that's
the value that you bring. You're definitely one of a kind.
That's the value that you bring.
One of a kind.
That, or I could be like super smart, like, okay, if I make Curtis pay more, then he's even more free. I got even more time for myself. I know I can pay for it. I know they can't.
The evil genius.
Charge $1,000. Charge $1,000. We'll be all right. My business can handle it. Charge $1,000. I don't have to worry about nobody else in the contracts or is booking you.
$1 million.
I'm telling you, man. Supply and demand. Supply and demand. You are in full demand. Raise that price.
Yeah, I think I will raise my prices though soon. Maybe towards the end of the year. I think I'm gonna raise them. Yeah, I've been talking to a lot of other inspectors, and it's like the end of the year.
Bruh, I'm about to. For all the people that watch this video, I'm about to put him on blast. Have Curtis, what date are you going to raise your prices?
TBD.
Ah, hey, October 1st, start of the military fiscal year. So that's the end of this year. Slow time, anyways. Raise your prices.
Man.
I'm just gonna start putting it out on social media. And like, hey, check out my boy. Blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna raise your price wherever the fuck I want. So
he just raised his prices, dude.
Man, check out my boy. $800 a home inspection for a 1-bedroom condo. Best in the game.
What happened?
Hey, watch your business blow up too. They're like, oh shit.
I know.
They said he's great. So you do it, or I'm gonna do it.
I know. You're gonna force my hand. He's gonna force my hand to do it.
Man, I touch on social media alone. or just Instagram alone. I touch over 1.5 million people. Facebook's like another 2. YouTube, give or take like 150 grand, whatever. A lot of eyeballs saying that Curtis is and West Ivy's raising their prices.
You know what? I think I'm gonna send my price roll out to you just to.
Hey man, I'll send it.
Like, I'm so excited. Guess what happened? He just raised his prices.
Hey man, I've been telling you since I met you, man. Like you're too nice. You need to raise with inflation. You're undercut like yourself, and you know what I'm saying? Like, and once again, you don't have perspective because you don't deal with these other home inspectors before. And there's other ones that I had before you. I'm like, oh my God. Or even the one, I had a dude in Ventura and man, you saw the ones in Santa Rosa and what? I'm looking at these documents, bro, bad. Bad. Damn. I was like, God, man. I was like, man, Curtis, you need to do it. You have a franchise up in Northern California too, man. Like, this is some bullshit.
I know. My brother's talking about doing something out in Vegas. So I was thinking of maybe doing something out in Vegas.
That'd be dope.
But, yeah.
They have the same type of housing as us, or is like that block and post? You're going to be crawling under.
Yeah. No, they don't have a lot of. They have some, yeah. But all of the newer stuff is all slab on grade, new builds,
Why did they Why did they have like a block and post era? I don't understand it.
I don't know. I think they just weren't pouring concrete the same back then. So they just found that it was better just to have the stem wall and post in the middle. I have no idea. Where they did it. But now they're doing a way better job of like grading and compacting the soil and all that stuff. So the foundations are a lot more.
And I'm no contractor or engineer, but just if your house is sitting on stilts, it just feels like it makes it way easier for one of the stilts to start sinking, and like you start having, what I mean, like
I think it was just easier for everything though for them. Like a lot of the electrical went under the house, a lot of the plumbing, like water supply, gas, like all that stuff went under the house, so it was easy to get to.
Oh no, my mama has a block and post, and think about 3 monsters. You wrestle and you get thrown on a block and post floor. Boom! The whole house is
The whole house moves,
shakes, man. All the and
boys, stop playing back there.
Stop! There was no way you could be silent. It was me and my 2 brothers, and we're all about the same size. So it's a bad day when you start wrestling in a block and post house. So solid foundation through and through. But
yeah, for sure.
Nah, man.
That's funny.
It's late, and it's getting late over there, brother. I appreciate you finally getting on and stop curbing me.
No, this was fun, man. I enjoy it. We got to do this more often.
I know, man. I know. And I'll have better questions next time. And when I do this video, I'm gonna clip in a bunch of funny stuff. I'm gonna steal from Instagram, so try to shout.
You gonna look it up?
Hell yeah! And so everybody watch it. This is the man, the myth, the legend. If you guys want to link up with him, I'll put all the links in the bio below. Appreciate you again, brother, and definitely be talking to you after this.
Man, thank you for having me. I appreciate it, man. I love your show. Keep keeping it up, man. I love what you're doing out there.
Slowly but surely, brother, we get there.
Let's do it.
All
right, man. Take care.
All right, bro. All right, Collins Connection. Thanks for watching once again. All of Curtis and West Ivy contacts will be in the description below. So if you need any help, either reach out to me or reach out to him directly. He's an amazing guy. He'll help you out. Also, please like and subscribe to the channel and help me out. And if you have anybody you'd like me to interview, feel free to use a comment box. I read each and every one of them. And because YouTube is smarter than me, it says you're going to like this video right here. And I will see you next video. Thanks again for watching.